Now, I find this rather interesting because the Lehigh Valley Storm this year, they're in a division with some very tough competition. You have the Newark, New Jersey Spartans, whom a lot of people didn't give much respect for a while, but this year they've had a breakout year in another league, and now they join Major League Football and starting to try and cause some damage. You also have the Plainfield, New Jersey Wolves, back-to-back Major League Football champions, and you know they're not going to go down without a fight. And then we have another league champion that was in the realm in the I think they're from South Plainfield. Not sure what their offices are. They were the Middlesex Vikings. They're now the Central Jersey Vikings. So the Lehigh Valley Storm, they do not, in my opinion, have an easy division based on the past history of how the other teams have done in this league.
Yeah, from what I understand, 15 out of the 20 teams in the league this year have played in their respective playoffs last season. Out of the 20, there's 11 returning and there's 9 new. But 15 out of the 20, which is 75%, played in the playoffs last year. So there's not going to be too many easy games for Lehigh Valley Storm, but everyone is definitely ready to play.
And, of course, after this game, the Storm will have 2 home games in a row, which we'll be mentioning as we go along. Before we talk any further, we'll remind you, this Lehigh Valley Storm broadcast, courtesy of the Lehigh Valley Storm online radio network and Hot101.net. It's brought to you by, I can't even read this, Schrudy's Pub and Restaurant in Easton, Pennsylvania, A&H Sporting Goods out in Allentown, State Farm Insurance, KVLA Children's Center, and Orthopedic Associates, which is run actually an affiliate of Dr. Robert Palumbo, who's the team doctor of the Lehigh Valley Storm. For more info on that, call 610-973-6200 for more information. Well, hopefully Monday they'll be open. But those are the sponsors, and we'll give a little bit more on them as we go along.
And I have to give credit to Schrudy's Pub and Restaurant, who a couple hours ago hosted plenty of members of this team and gave them the pregame meal. And also next Monday, we're going to be having our live remote from 8 to 9 p.m. So they're definitely one of our bigger and better sponsors, and they fed our players today, and they're looking for a win just like we are.
And too bad I live 2.5 hours away from there. I wish I could attend. But just in case you're wondering where they are, it's 1853 Northampton Street in Easton, Pennsylvania. As JJ already said, there's a live remote next Monday from 8 to 9 p.m. Again, at Schrudy's Pub and Restaurant. Again, 1853 Northampton Street in Easton, Pennsylvania. So I'm assuming it's right off Route 22, so we'll have to bring any deer in there, considering the background there. But obviously, a fun place to go to nonetheless. So hopefully you guys can make it out there next Monday to, again, Schrudy's Pub and Restaurant. So what we're looking at here is a Northeast Eagles team as we return here. They're stretching out right now, and I'm not sure if they're going to be considered the home team in this game. They are wearing their white uniforms, black pants, and black numerals and stuff like that. And the Storm, of course, in their traditional black uniforms, they'll have black helmets and white numerals, as we're looking at right now. The Northeast Eagles, now, of course, they've had a couple of stints with the elite. They've been known as the Tacony Eagles. They've been known as the I think they were the Northeast Eagles, and then they went somewhere else, and then they got split off. Whatever the case may be, they're back and looking to cause some damage here in Major League Football. And one thing I have seen from the Eagles are 2 players that have been around for a while, and if you're not careful, you're gonna have a combo that's gonna beat you in the name of Anthony Kent at receiver and Brandon Sanders at quarterback.
Yeah, I know. A couple days ago we were talking about their impact players, and you compared them to Michael Vick, and that's never a good thing. So hopefully the Lehigh Valley Storm are gonna have to keep him contained. And Brandon Sanders at quarterback, obviously, is gonna be a dual threat quarterback. Can pass, can run, can extend drives, 3rd and long, can take off and run for a first down. So he's definitely a guy that defensive coordinator and the defense are going to have to watch tonight.
And they are championship caliber too, let's not forget, because they were with the Northwest Giants for a short time, and they're a championship team in a league a couple of years ago. So this is a duo that you have to be very careful with. And this is why I feel in this game coming up, we're going to have the offensive and defensive lines basically have to be very disciplined in what they do, because if they make one they make one critical mistake, they could burn you for a good, we'll say, 80-yard touchdown. I don't think the Storm wants to give that up very early in the year.
I don't think so either. You gotta be smart, the cornerbacks and linebackers, and hopefully play bump and run on the wide receivers and just keep your guys in front of you.
Now, last year, of course, the Storm, they had one hiccup at home, and that was that game against the Lancaster Lightning, which I think they added on. I guess it was a schedule change during the year, and unfortunately they lost that game, and it turned out to be a very key turning point of the year because the Storm didn't lose after that. They ended up playing a tough schedule toward the end during the regular season before the playoffs began, and in back-to-back weeks through shutouts against the Plainfield, New Jersey Wolves in a rain-shortened game, and they shut out the Homedale, New Jersey Lions 38-0 in the final week of the year before the playoffs. So this is a good team, and I think one of the biggest things, let's not forget here, is the key is communication, camaraderie, and let's just say esprit de corps in togetherness. And in the early going last year, there might have been they were trying to search their way a little bit, but I think from day one, this is where I think they need to stay together, and if they're able to do that, I think they'll go a long way come this 2014 season.
Yes, well, from what I understand, this is a team that when they get hot, they get real hot, and when the defense is playing great, they're playing real good, like you mentioned, back-to-back shutouts. And with Marshman back and all these guys in the 3-4 defense that they're playing, they're definitely going to look to continue the momentum that they ended at last season and bring it into tonight and start off on the right foot.
And I think that will be a very big key as we go along here. Now, interestingly enough, courtesy of the Major League Football website at BEFF2012.com, they mentioned this about the Storm, and unfortunately, I think I grabbed the wrong page, so hold on one second for that. Here we go. They listed the Lehigh Valley Storm as the following. The Storm will return to Major League Football after a year away in another league. They played the 2013 season, had an 8-2 regular season record, made the league championship, but of course, as you know, came away on the losing end. When on the field, the Storm plays smart, physically, and explosively, and are hoping the change will end with a different result. Do you feel that is an accurate statement as we get going with this game? Okay, maybe that wasn't necessarily the best thing here, but the way I see this, I think this outlook is pretty good, courtesy of the Major League Football site. And I guess from what we're seeing right now, we are looking at a team that is smart, that can make plays, and they can put out what's called a storm surge. What I mean by that is they will blitz, and sometimes they'll blitz often. You might see like 2 or 3 sacks in a row, and that could be crippling to opposing offenses from what I've seen from them last year.
Absolutely. Big plays like that, obviously the turnover factor is where it all starts, but big plays like that, getting a couple sacks in a row all of a sudden gets your offense fired up and changes field possession game, and then once you win the field possession battle, it makes the game that much easier to win.
And that is very true. Now, getting back to the running backs, of course, as I mentioned, Bob Kohler can use a number of them. You have Isaiah Green, you have Sean Myers, who's the main leader. You also have Michael Thomas, and we also have somebody new in Eric Robinson that's going to kind of go in a little bit of a platoon situation. Maybe you can give me and the folks listening a little rundown as to their abilities, because I know Sean Myers is obviously explosive. He had that 3-touchdown game, and I think the championship game against the Panhandle Crusaders. But we're looking at Green and Thomas that are coming back this year. I think the experience could help them in the offensive line do a good job this year. Exactly,
and Raheem Ridley mentioned the other day that they have a great running back duo with him and Sean Myers, but also the new guys that are coming in. And obviously it's a run and gun team, which means that you try and get the defense tired, but having that Thunder and Lightning duo always can help you out. And like he said, they're real excited, and they love to pass, they love to run, and the offensive line, I know, is ready for sure to block for them and make holes.
And that is a very important thing, too, as we are hopefully probably in the next 15 minutes will be underway with the start of today's contest with the Storm and the Northeast Eagles. Now, of course, there's Jimmy LeHue, but let's also not forget a couple of key members of the defense for the Lehigh Valley Storm. Now, we mentioned about Orrin Marshman, but we also have others who happen to be very important too. Joe Davis is back, and that's a big part of the SAC team. Jaron Elder, who's a defensive back. You also got Rodney Gilmore and Stephen Lewis, who's Mr. Interception Machine. And you had some good players on defense here, and obviously they've been waiting this long to get back onto the field. What do you think? You think 10.5 months away now getting to live competition again, are we expecting to see like more mental mistakes or physical mistakes as we go into today's contest?
Well, early on the season, you guys, whether they want to admit it or not, definitely have the jitters and definitely have the butterflies. And coaches know the first quarter, there's going to be a couple mental mistakes, but these guys have to focus in, and they've been working and practicing a couple times a week and know their assignments. And then that's when you're going to make the plays, and you got to wrap up and make your tackles. But having those guys that you just mentioned, those big playmakers on defense, always can help you out.
I totally agree with that. And as we look down through the roster, you mentioned too Raheem Ridley, and I'm sorry I didn't mention him as far as the running backs are concerned, but we also have Carl Kreidler, who's back as well. Joe Peters is with the gang. Bobby Eppelman, of course, will do the punting and kicking duties. On the offensive line, led by Zach Yankowicz. Please forgive me if I'm not getting these names pronounced correctly. But then you have a pretty solid defensive line core. Like I said, I mentioned Carl Kreidler. Let's also not forget Keenan Walls, who's also part of that group. And like I said, there are plenty of other newcomers. And you mentioned Orrin Marshman, who's back to wearing number 17. Will Early is also part of the crew as well. So a lot of talent on this team. And it's just a matter of having them all play together. What do you think?
Exactly. Every year you could look back to the following years and say these guys play good together, but this is a new Lehigh Valley Storm team. They have a new logo, they have a new mindset, and on the website every time you sign in it says unfinished business. And obviously that's the number one thing that they're looking at right now, and we're going to have to see how the offense stays together and the defense plays together, and it's going to be a good game.
And we have members from other teams that are here. We have people from the Somerset Bears, and ran into the head coach of the Plainfield, New Jersey Wolves, who's in attendance at this game. We also got people listening online throughout Hot101.net and other areas. We do have some listeners in Philly, and crazy shouts to Tom, who told me that he's listening out in the Philly area and kind of close to where the Northeast Eagles reside. So crazy shouts to Tom and all the gang down in Philly listening for this evening's game. We're probably about maybe 10 minutes away, it might be a few minutes more than that, as we get closer to kickoff here, the Northeast Eagles and the Lehigh Valley Storm. Just real quick, let's mention about A&H Sporting Goods, which is a family-run business with 2 locations in Easton and Allentown. You can go to the Allentown location at 3103 West Emmaus Avenue in Allentown, or in Easton, it's 1600 Sullivan Trail. Again, it's A&H Sporting Goods. They're a family-run business with 2 locations in Allentown and Easton, Pennsylvania. So we'll, of course, go down the other ones as well as we go along here. Now, just to give you an idea, just get a little bit off the trail here, with Major League Football, of course, they were originally known as the Big Northeast Football Federation, and I happen to do a lot of public address for a bunch of teams, and of course, I've been on this field a number of times doing games. I've done some dramatically tremendous games, even an overtime game that decided a championship. I know it involved I forget who it was, I think it was the Vikings and the Southern Virginia Trojans. That was a heck of a game, which I think ended like 6-0 or something like that. But real quick, the BEFF, which was originally the Big East Football Federation, they were created in 2007. That league once had only 6 teams. They now have 20, and the mission, led by the guy who masterminded all this, Dexter Gervin, and crazy shouts to him, it completely spread like wildfire. Now, they have 2 fantastic adult football leagues, and of course they had the phrase for a few years called, "We set the standard." But their phrase this year is, it's not just football, but a way of life. So this league for Major League Football, it covers New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania for the Storm, Connecticut, Virginia, and now North Carolina. So with 2 fantastic adult football leagues. Check their website out. You can type in Major League Football on Google. It'll come up as BEFF2012.com. Go there. That is their current website. And again, crazy shouts to Dexter Gervin, Al Alston, Kevin Pryor, and the gang. They're doing their thing as they always do with Major League Football, and hopefully you'll be able to enjoy the action. So I guess see if we're not wasting any time. So why don't we take just a couple of seconds, calm our brains down, and I don't know if you have anything queued up for a commercial or not, but
no, we don't really have a commercial set up right now. So.
Well, believe it or not, we'll be starting in just a couple minutes because the coin toss is about to happen between the Eagles and the Lehigh Valley Storm. So we're just about ready for game time. So I'll just remind you that this game, of course, is being presented by authority of the Lehigh Valley Storm in conjunction with Major League Football, who have approval to the announcers of this game. It's intended solely for a private, non-commercial use of our audience. This broadcast may not be rebroadcast or disseminated in any form whatsoever. It is expressly prohibited without express written consent of the Lehigh Valley Storm and Major League Football. Just please keep in mind that all rights to this broadcast are reserved under international conventions. Well, now the officials are in the middle of the field for the coin toss. The Northeast Eagles in their white uniforms. I think they're going to be the home team because originally the Storm were supposed to be on the road, but of course for the season opener, but obviously changes in schedules threw things a little bit off. So I'm not sure who's home and who's away, but we'll figure it out one way or the other. Head coach Bob Kohler happens to be talking to one of the officials right now. Now, there is no sound system again, so there is no national anthem. We would normally play the national anthem because we want it to be part of your experience in listening to Lehigh Valley Storm football. We, of course, remind everybody to support the troops. And hopefully things halfway around the world will calm down and we can force peace and all that stuff. That would certainly be very nice. But in any case, hopefully you know that for future broadcasts, we will ensure that when we have the national anthem, it will be broadcast so that way we can have you as part of the football experience. Now, needless to say, as we look at the Northeast Eagles, we have Brandon Sanders, we have Anthony Kent there, we also have Aaron Blount, who I've known for a good while, and Dante Matthews there. And I think they just had the coin toss, and they didn't give anything in a specific direction as to who's going where, so we'll let you know once we see people lined up. I guess the captains were just meeting. The Eagles are still warming up along the corner of the end zone. This is an east-west field. We're in the north part of Torpy Field here in Bridgewater. It's not too far from Route 28, and just so you know, it's very, very close to Somerville. It's just to the east of Somerville, as a matter of fact. So if you happen to be listening, you're almost right next door. Come on in. And here it is, neon yellow thing is Dexter, the commissioner of Major League Football. He happens to be in attendance for this one. So crazy shouts to him once again. So what are you looking forward to in this game? I'm sorry to interrupt you, JJ.
I was going to say, I had the privilege of talking to him on Thursday night also, and he was the most excited person I talked to. Like I said before, with the 15 out of 20 teams coming back, he said he can't wait. And I know everyone else, and you can tell these guys jumping around on the sideline and getting ready now, and it's a great buzz, great environment here.
Well, and it looks like a pretty good crowd in attendance here for the Major League Football opener, as I was hoping somebody was going to turn the lights on, and there we go. Thank you. So we're just a few minutes away. We'll just let you know that another one of their sponsors is State Farm Insurance, located in the Lehigh Valley at 411 State Road in Emmaus, Pennsylvania. Go ahead and ride with the #1 car insurer in Pennsylvania. That is State Farm Insurance. Of course, go to statefarm.com. For the local office, it's 411 State Road in Emmaus, Pennsylvania. So, needless to say, this is going to be... I see what's going on here. It looks like the Storm will probably receive the football first. We have players on the field. We have kids on the 20-yard line. They shouldn't be here right now.
I don't think they're running down on kickoff. I don't know if they want to run into the wedge.
I don't think we're going to see very much about that. But who knows what's going to happen with this one. So what are the keys to this evening's game?
Mistakes, not making mistakes, and being mentally prepared and on your game, and just remembering your assignment and doing what the coach asks and what you have to do. There's 11 guys on the field at one time, and if everyone does their job, you will win each quarter, and if you win each quarter, you win the game.
Well, we have to start with winning a play, and then winning a series, and then winning, then getting on the scoreboard, and that's why you dominate in field position. We also have a couple of people checking in from Hillsborough, and one from up in, I think, Morris Plains, New Jersey, checking at the thing today. So we are most definitely hot. So, we have Steve, crazy shouts to Steve Lombardo, the guy who runs the Storm, and he just asked if we were hot. Well, here's your answer.
We're hot. I 101.
So, anyway, if you want to go ahead and read a sponsor real quick before we get started the game, go right ahead.
Start off with Kula Children's Center, located 833 North 13th Street in Allentown, Pennsylvania. For more information, call 484-350-3557. Meeting your child care needs.
Well, it won't be a child's game, that's for sure. It looks like the Eagles have won the toss, but they refused the football to the second half. The Storm will receive in their black uniforms, white numerals, the Northeast Eagles in their black helmets and pants, white numerals on black numbers or green numbers. Referee about to blow his whistle. We see Vito Hatchell again. No, it's not Vito Hatchell. I think he's going to kick off. But whatever the case, we see Flood back there. And here we go. The 2014 season underway. One hop. And it goes over to about the 30-yard line. Still carrying 35 down to the 38-yard line. That is Tashmere Flood, who fielded it about maybe 12 yards in and was able to run it back for a nice gain to the 39. So we'll say 27 yards on the return.
That was a great job by the wedge. All the guys picked up the blocker, and the kick returner took it and saw a lane and gained an extra 10 yards.
And so the Storm, led by quarterback Jimmy LeHue, who had a very nice year. Yeah, it would be nice if I put it around the middle because we need to share the thing. I'm so used to podcasting by myself, and this is one of those things. And we're not going to have much time between plays because the Storm, they run a pretty up-tempo offense. And as like I said, Jimmy LeHue usually operates out of the shotgun. And they have 1st and 10 from the 39, 4 receivers, 2 on each side, single setback to the right. LeHue, midway shotgun, now backing up. First play of 2014. LeHue making the call. Eventually, my friend, low snap, it gets by him, and he'll have to fall on the football at about the 27-yard line. Not exactly the way you want to start the season.
That is not the way you want to start off at all, but let's see if they can take now the 2nd and long and turn into a positive drive here. A
12-yard loss, and it'll be 2nd and 22. Ball will be spot, actually, I'll say 21. They're going to spot at the 28-yard line. Now, and the officials should stop play for a moment. The Storm are ready to go. I don't think the Eagles realize that. So it's like, let's go. But I think the officials should stop play for a moment. The Eagles have to quickly get in position. They immediately blitz, and the pass is thrown and caught, but it still doesn't matter. That was Devon Gordon with that catch, and he gets slaughtered down for about a 4-yard loss to the 24-yard line. Looks like Nate Polk was able to make the stop.
And the Eagles weren't ready there. They had defensive linemen running up to the line, but it was a rocket screen to the left, and they read it well, and Storm are moving backwards right now.
It's hey, Mac, you're going the wrong way, but remember, it's the opening drive of the year, so there's a lot more to come on this. 3rd, and we'll say 24 from the 23-yard line, we'll say. LeHue in the shotgun, 4 receivers, single setback to the left. LeHue low snap, takes it, looks in the pocket, rolls to his right, being chased, and he's got to create a play, and he's now got to throw deep on the right side, and he throws it to Bound Brook, incomplete, along the Storm sideline. So a very ignominious 3-and-out for the Storm to start the season.
Well, that's got to be the first drive of the season jitters that we're talking about. You saw the low snap, and hopefully we can get those out of the way and have a good defensive possession coming up.
And Bobby Eppleman has come along to punt. He's a pretty decent punter, and looks like back for the Eagles right now is Vito Hatchell. He was the one who kicked off, and also Naheem Shaw, who I've seen in a few games. Referee blows his whistle on 4th down, and I'm not sure for what. Probably just an official timeout. And I don't know if it's number of players on the field or whatever the case is, but the officials are just trying to get everything going. By the way, you're listening to the Lehigh Valley Storm and Northeast Philly Eagles here on the Lehigh Valley Storm online radio network and Hot101.net. That was a 12-man substitution penalty on the Eagles, so just back moves it up 5 yards, so it's still fourth and a long way. Eppelman to punt, gets a slow snap, and is able to get a high boomer. And it looks like it'll be over the head of Vito Hatchell. And now it's picked up by Shaw, who will run to her right, breaks a tackle, gets to the 30, and tackled down nicely at the 35-yard line. Shoestring tackle by Eric Robinson. So at least, even though it was a nice return, it could have been a whole lot worse. The Storm did a nice job in the special teams part.
It was a great punt by Bobby Eppelman, who actually is a former college teammate of mine, and I know he's a great weapon for this team. And they did a pretty good job covering that punt there. He only gained like 10 yards after the pickup, but it could have been a lot worse, like you said, for the Eagles.
And so the Northeast Eagles all begin at the 35-yard line, led by veteran quarterback Brandon Sanders. And we talked about him a little bit as we began things in this first in the pregame show. Sanders, of course, he was a champion with the Northwest Giants some years back, but now we got flags down before the first play even happens, and evidently we may see numbers again. It's a delay of game penalty against the Eagles. For what I don't know, probably a substitution. But I'm having trouble with my words today. Haven't done this in a while. And
you're having jitters just like the Storm and the Eagles are.
I think everybody's having the opening night jitters. What do you expect?
Happens to the best.
And believe it or not, this is my first ever live online game. So crazy shouts to everyone who are supporting both of us, myself and JJ. We certainly appreciate everything you've done. So thank you guys very much for that. All right, here we go. First and 10 from the first and 15 rather, from the 30-yard line for Brandon Sanders, who drops the snap and falls on the ball and says, you know what, we'll just say it's maybe a half-yard gain. And so it's funny. Both teams begin with an inauspicious bad snap to begin their season drive.
It's all about the jitters here, and you gotta keep your mental mindset right and just worry and go out there and play football.
It's 72 degrees outside. Why is there jitters unless there's like a summer polar vortex that's come over here? I've been showing that on the news and probably had below normal temperatures for July, but next week, forget it. We could be in for a hot one next Saturday when the Storm had their home opener. But anyway, no gain on that first play. Second and 15 now. For the Northeast Eagles, their opening drive from the 30-yard line, split backs this time. Sanders looks over the formation. They decide to hand it off, a sweep around the left side, going to about the 35, 38, maybe even the 40-yard line. That's a good run by Kenneth King, whom has been a veteran in the semi-pro world, especially with Eagles franchises from the past. He's able to get 10, and that's going to set up a manageable 3rd and 5, so now the Storm have to be ready for either or to come their way.
And Kenneth King was following his fullback there. He took a couple short stutter steps out of the gate, but ran off the fullback and picked up some solid yardage to make a 3rd and 5 now convertible.
And absolutely, and like I said, manageable, because now you could have Sanders pass, you could have somebody else run, or you could have Sanders do it all with his feet. So the Storm have to be ready and pretty much stay in their lane. So split backs this time, 3rd and 5 from the 40-yard line. Sanders under center. Let's see if the Storm's showing blitz. Not necessarily, but they hand it off up the middle. And a big hole crossing midfield and down to the 44-yard line. That's Rommel Somerville, who basically ran everybody over and gets into Storm territory, the 43-yard line, 17 yards, and the first down of the season for the Eagles.
He's a very, very big running back. Reminds me of Jerome Bettis, like he just gets it, no jukes, hits the hole, and took it for 17 yards.
Wow, and that tells you right there, the offensive line, they were putting some holes together and taking advantage of this Lehigh Valley Storm team. They had a little bit of a rocky 3 plays, and that kind of gave the Eagles a little momentum, and now they're taking advantage of it despite the opening penalty. So 5-yard penalty, no problem. They move the sticks. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. They're at the 43-yard line of the Storm. Again, under center, Brandon Sanders, receiver on each side, split backs. Whoops! Somebody jumped the gun. It looked like Khalif Robinson evidently took off before the gates went up, so a false start on the Eagles. That backs him up 5.
He saw the linebackers blitzing. Lehigh Valley Storm was looking to send the house a little bit there, and he took off early and And that's a big 5 yards. That was all because he saw the blitz coming.
And that is most definitely true. I mean, when you see the blitz coming, you got to be ready and be as disciplined as possible. Put some mental stress on you, but that's part of the character building of this game. 1st and 15 now from the 48-yard line. Again, same formation, split backs. Brandon Sanders under center, takes the snap. He fakes. He's going to roll to his right. He's being chased. Throws off his back foot, and the pass is caught. And a hard hit, Hatchell with the catch. And now they're going to say incomplete. Hatchell thought he had it. The hit was made by Jaron Elder. He thought the ball ended up being fumbled, but the officials now say incomplete. So forget all the extracurriculars that happened after that we didn't announce, and we'll just say 2nd and 15.
And that pass was forced by defensive end and linebacker Brian Arroyo. Was in Brandon Sanders' face, and he made him throw it earlier, and the cornerback came up and made a nice play.
Arroyo certainly had the lane, and that's a problem. When you're quarterbacking and you throw off your back foot, usually bad things happen when that takes place, because then the throw comes up way short, and you're going to need the wind to really help the football get to its right location. Otherwise, it's going to be short 101 out of every 100 times. But anyway, 2nd and 15, the Eagles at the 48-yard line of the Storm. The receiver, and he's only a single back this time, and they hand it off, and that is Kenneth King, who will get back to the original line of scrimmage off left tackle to the 43-yard line. And the marker's going to say a yard short of that, so a gain of 4 for Kenneth King. And it actually...
Gain of 11, I think. So.
No, we're going to say 6. Cause,
that's what I meant.
Yeah, so they're going to spot at the 42-yard line, pickup of 6 for King. So now you're more likely to see a pass here on 3rd and 9.
Absolutely, and that's why on 2nd and long, they just wanted to get into something 3rd and 9 and more of a conversion bowl type of situation.
Well, let's see how the Eagles line up. 3rd and 9 from the 42 of the Storm. Single setback to go 3 wide, slot right this time. Sanders again going quick count. Storm looking. There's a trick play. Sanders will try and get out to about the 35, and he's probably going to be a little short of a first down, but he may have lunged enough to make it a very, very close marking. And the officials are going to say, you know what? Get the chain gang out there. Brandon Sanders decided to do the almost instant quarterback draw. He took 1 step back and then went forward and was spun around inside the 35. It looks like, no, they're saying the heck with the chain gang. It's going to be a yard short.
It's going to be 4th and 1, and it happened so fast it looked more like of a broken play, but Lehigh Valley sent the blitz, and he took 1 step back and took off, and now we're going to have a 4th and 1 opportunity for the Eagles.
And this is going to be an early big play in this game. And, of course, the Eagles, Sanders just went to a sideline talking to his offensive coach, see what play they'll drive in. And, again, you're looking at a possible quarterback draw, but you also have to consider that it's already been done, so you think the Storm are probably going to be ready for it. So let's see what happens. They're going to go big up front, single receiver to the right, split backs behind Sanders, 4th and a yard from the 34. They hand it off. Somerville, he blew right by a couple of people, got a first down inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. John Kennedy with the stop, but another 10 yards for Somerville, and I know it's only a couple miles west of here, but he is having a very big game, making a big 3rd and now a 4th down conversion to move the chains.
And Lehigh Valley had about 7-8 guys in the box there, and Northeast Eagles just picked up on the man, and he took 1 cut and took it for a first down.
And so the Eagles keep the drive going after a 10-yard pickup, 1st and 10 at the Storm 24-yard line. Brandon Sanders again with 1 single setback to the near side of the field and split back, so you might see another running play. The Storm looking to close it in. Here's a play fake. Back goes Sanders. There he goes on his feet. He's going to throw left side. A wide open man. But it's intercepted. It's intercepted about the 4-yard line. Couldn't see who it was. Taking about the 25-30. Still going to the 40. To midfield. Still running through traffic. Going to the 40. The 30 is he going to go. 20, 10. Down to about the 8-yard line. Tajmir Flood opened the floodgates on the far side of the field, made a few tremendous moves, and returns the interception nearly 90 yards and has the Storm in plus territory in the red zone and a 1st and goal.
And you're looking on the sideline. Tajmir Floyd ran right over to linebacker Joe Davis, who put pressure on Sanders and made him able to make that play and return it and completely field the change of this game.
And he followed his blockers too, which made it all the difference in the world. That could have looked like maybe a 20 or 25-yard interception, but he continued to follow, and he nearly took it to the house for 97 yards. He'll have to settle probably for about 90. And now the chain gang, noticing that play is starting on the other side of the field, they're hustling up like they wouldn't believe. So it'll just be a moment till they set up. Actually, they're going to say the 10-yard line. It is a 1st and goal, so an 83-yard return by Tajmir Flood. 1st and goal from the 10 for Jimmy LeHue in the shotgun, who takes a low snap, he fumbles it, and goes directly to the running back, Raheem Ridley, who falls for maybe a 1-yard loss. So again, communication between the center and Jimmy LeHue not working.
No, and that's something that they have to fix. Next time that the defense is on the field, they need to be on the sideline practicing snaps, because that's something that could lose you the game outright, and they need to get that fixed.
And they have to speed up the snaps as well. 2nd and goal from the 11 for Jimmy LeHue in the shotgun once again. Drops a snap again, and now there's a mad scramble for the ball. I think LeHue may have fallen on it, so back-to-back snaps. They're dropping everything. I mean, what's going on here? That's another 2-yard loss.
It looked like that was a good snap, and that was on quarterback Jim LeHue. So they both need to connect, and good snap, good catch, and for the play to work. They're moving backwards again here.
They've had they've had 5 plays, and 3 of them have been a fumbled snap. That's cause for a lot of concern. 3rd and goal from the 13-yard line. LeHue in the shotgun. 4 receivers. Again a low snap, but he gets it. He throws left side. This is caught. Welcome to the end zone. Jaleel Clark able to cut inside on an inner post, and he was able to grab it for a 13-yard touchdown. The first Storm points of the year, and they hit pay dirt first.
That was a great pass by Jimmy LeHue, but a better route by wide receiver Jaleel Clark, and he just took 2 steps, ran the skinny post, and caught an easy touchdown.
And very nicely drawn play, despite still having the exchanges being a very difficult spot. Eppelman on for the extra point. Let's see if the snap works out on this one. A good snap, kick on its way. Eppelman boats it through. It is good. So, somewhere like the midway point of first quarter, we do not have any official time, but we can say it is midway first, and the Lehigh Valley Storm take a 7-0 lead over the Northeast Eagles. Let's just quickly let you know about KVLA Children's Center, which is located on 833 North 13th Street in Allentown, Pennsylvania. They are meeting your child care needs. Again, KVLA Children's Center. For more information on them, call 484 area code 350-3557. Again, 484 area code 350-3557. That is KVLA Children's Center meeting your child care needs. So, simple, 3 plays, 10 yards. You went backwards 2 plays, and voila, 13-yard strike, and Jaleel Clark hits pay dirt.
And the Storm defense last possession, they bent a little bit, but they did not break, giving up a key 4th and 1. But then forcing the quarterback to throw a bad interception and putting the offense in the red zone, and that's what it's all about for the defense.
And it was all set up, of course, by Tajmir Flood's 87-yard interception return, because he intercepted at the 3-yard line, took it all the way back to the Eagles' 10-yard line, a play that I thought was going to be stopped at about the 30, and he kept going for 60 more yards. So that is majorly key here. So once again, turnovers, they kill, and boy, you talk about a swing in this game of minimum 10, maybe 14 points. There you go.
Absolutely. It's huge. Like they were bending, they didn't break, and the momentum is definitely on the Storm side right here. They're going to try and cover a good kick and get back out there on defense and do what they have to do and stop the big running back in Somerville.
Okay, so now kicking off will be Eppelman. And standing at about the 10-yard line is C.J. Fisher. Also back there is Vito Hatch on the far side. Kickoff looks like it's going to go all the way to 287, but it is picked up near the back of the end zone by Fisher, who will return it. He breaks one tackle. He's going to run to the left, crossing the 10, and gets to about maybe the 20-yard line. So all that running when he could let it go for a touchback.
He could have, yep, and it was real deep in the end zone. I would say about 8-9 yards, and the whole stadium thought he was going to take a knee, but he thought that he could make something happen, and it cost him a little bit, but they're right back where they would have been.
Yeah, that's very true, and a few seconds off the clock too. But in any case, Brandon Sanders, who I mentioned as before, is a key part to this game. Of course, he made a critical mistake throwing an interception to Tajmir Flood a few moments ago. Let's see what he can come out with. Now, let's not forget who had a good first drive in Ramel Somerville, who had a couple of huge conversions, especially one on third down, another on fourth down to keep the drive going before what proved to be an eventually fatal interception.
Yeah, he's a guy that gets the ball and just runs downhill. He's not the little juking type back. He's just going to get it and run and always fall forward. So he's a guy that the Storm definitely have to keep an eye on.
So we had a little bit of an official timeout here. We will let you know that next week the Lehigh Valley Storm's home opener will be taking place at Salisbury High School in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It will happen on next Saturday, the 26th of July, against the New York Predators. It will be Military Veterans Night at Salisbury High School. Kickoff is slated for 7 p.m. Of course, you can catch if you can't make it to the game at Salisbury High School, you can catch the action right here on the Lehigh Valley Storm online radio network and hot101.net. For more ticket information, of course, check out lvstormfootball.com. All right, 1st and 10. As the play gets going, here's a handoff around the right side for the Eagles, and that is Calef Robinson. He went on an end-around tight end situation and did not get much good penetration by the left side of the Storm defense, which only resulted in a yard gain.
And they tried to run a quick jet sweep and try and catch the Storm off guard there. And the left defensive end, number 94, made a great play, Luther Wilson.
Yeah, Luther Wilson is going to be a key to the defensive line for this group this year. Let's also not forget the likes of Brian Potter, Marcus Slocum, who's back with the club, and their defensive backs, who of course are sensational. You got to watch out for them. And like I said, with Flood's interception, he is somebody you just cannot play around with, that is for sure. But in any case, 2nd and 9. The Eagles at their own 21-yard line, single backs this time, 2 receivers on the right. Sanders, roll to his right, he's in trouble, down he goes! He gets run over at about the 13-yard line by Joe Davis, Mr. Sack Machine himself.
And he came in flying off the edge, untouched, wrapped up the quarterback Sanders and brought him down for a huge defensive play, and just what the Storm were looking for.
Well, I'll tell you what, now they got the interception. All momentum is on the Storm side. That was an 8-yard loss, let's say 8 to the 13-yard line, and it'll be 3rd, and we're going to say 17 from that point. Last-minute substitution in Sharif Lawhorn, another veteran of semi-pro that I've dealt with a number of times. He's in the game now for this play. I'm almost certain it's going to be a pass, but you never know.
You just have to look for a screen or a draw here, and you don't want to make any mistakes inside your own 20-yard line like they are.
Well, especially in a case like this, and you don't know, you just pull the white flag and punt, or just try and make something happen. We'll see what goes on. We'll go 4 receivers, 2 on each side, single setback, 3rd and 18 for the 13. Back goes Sanders. He's going to try to draw, and he throws on the left side and throws it to the Lehigh Valley Storm coaching staff along the far side of the field, incomplete. I mean, way too much, but I had a feeling that Sanders had to get out of there and throw it away. He was out of the pocket, so no intentional grounding, obviously, but the Eagles go 3 and out.
He made a smart decision there by not trying to find someone, knowing that it was 3 and very long, and just throw it out and try and make a good special teams play and hope for your defense.
And there you go. So 3 and out go the Northeast Eagles here. And the Storm should have a very nice field position. Back there to return is Stephen Lewis. And he's not only a good interceptor, he's a very good punt returner. He's taken a couple back to the house last year, too. In the meantime, Vito Hatchell will punt it, and he gets it away. Lewis is going to catch it at the 43, and he's off and running to the right side, crossing the 40. He's on full speed to the 30, to the 20. He goes pushed out of bounds in the red zone about the 16-yard line. I don't know if I saw a flag fly toward the end of the play, because there was something flew while he went along the far side of the field, and I have a feeling that the Storm, they're probably going to, I guess they're not going to say there was a flag. Sometimes it's hard to see when you're looking for yellow and you can't find it.
I think it was a close call. Joe Davis was looking on a crackback block, but he got his head on the right side, and I think it was very close to a clip, but it wasn't.
Well, one thing we do know is, of course, the officials keep the the time on the field, and they've decided we have gone to quarter time here in Bridgewater, here at Torpy Field. The Major League Football season opener. After one, the Lehigh Valley Storm 7, the Northeast Philly Eagles nothing. And we'll remind everybody that, of course, even though we might be pains in the neck on broadcasting, you don't need to pay when it comes to Orthopedic Associates. Of course, Dr. Robert Palumbo certainly suggests that as Lehigh Valley Storm team doctor. That is Orthopedic Associates. Call them for more details, 610 area code 973-6200. Again, 610 area code 973-6200. That is for Orthopedic Associates. So through one quarter, 7-0 Storm over the Eagles. You're looking at the second quarter, and the Storm are, as I thought, at the 16-yard line after a 27-yard return by Stephen Lewis. We're looking to see if they try and double the score. So what's the key for this coming short drive?
You have to make sure that you get points out of this drive. The defense and special teams have put the Storm in great field possession. Starting at the 16-yard line, you have to at least come away with 3.
Well, that's definitely true, and they have the kicker to do it at the very least. Oh, in at quarterback right now is Caleb Fick for this series. And a low snap to him. 1st and 10. He's going to draw himself, and he gets blasted. Trying to go up the middle by James Nathaniel. Oh, my goodness. There's a crater that got put in Bridgewater after that hit. A 1-yard loss. And again, the reason why it happened, a bad snap by the center.
Exactly. And Caleb Fick came in, and that was his first play. It was a broken play, and he just took it up the middle just to find number 40.
A broken play, and he got broken, unfortunately. But he's staying tough, and they're going to Pistolero here on a 2nd and we'll say 11 from the 17-yard line. Fick waiting, takes the snap, and then a delayed handoff. That is Sean Myers. He'll reverse to the right, not to the left, and he will be caught up in the containment of the Eagles' defense, only getting to about the 17, so no gain on the play. Good pursuit by Raheem Sanders and a few others.
And Sean Myers there made a lot of jukes and cuts and everything. There was really nowhere to go. The Northeast Eagles were on top of that play.
And obviously a good play there. So if the Eagles hold the Storm to 3, that'll actually be a win for them, even though it'll be a 2-possession game. But it's only the second quarter, folks. So 3rd and we'll say 12 from the 18-yard line. It was a 1-yard loss, actually. Again, Caleb Fick looking things over. 4 receivers. Takes a good snap this time. Looking. He's going to throw deep left side. And it is caught! But a flag is down. Welcome to the end zone again. It is Jaleel Clark. But let's see what the flag's all about. Who interfered with who?
It might be an offensive push-off on Clark. We'll have to see.
Well, we'll soon find out. The officials are waiting to discuss. And it is a pass interference. The question is on who. And it is against the Storm. So forget everything I said. So welcome to the end zone. No, you're out.
Yeah. Now it's going to be a 3rd and real long for him, but they're lucky that wasn't intercepted at about the 2-yard line. It was a little bit underthrown, but Clark made a great play. Obviously, the offensive push-off helped him out.
And a 10-yard penalty, that's a very costly one, so that'll make it 3rd and 22 now to the 28-yard line. And we'll see what happens here as it's 4 receivers now, and Fick looks like he'll be in a partial pistolero as Raheem Ridley is the setback here. Fick takes the snap, a good one. He's back, he's looking, he's going to start running. He will take off himself, crossing the 25 to the 20 and tiptoes out of bounds to the 18. So he gets 10 of them back. He gets the penalty yardage back, but it's going to be 4th and 12. So question is, do you go for a 35-yard field goal?
Absolutely, and I know Bobby Eppelman, this is Eppelman range for sure, and I think Fick did a great job seeing that no one was open there and picking up about 10 or 11 yards and getting the Storm in field goal range.
So if anything, and they're going to put it close to the right hash mark here as Jaleel Clark will come in as a last-minute substitution. 35-yard kick, Fick will hold. Let's see what Eppelman can do here to make it a 10-0 game. Takes a snap, a good one, and a kick is, I thought it was blocked, but it was anyway no good, wide to the left. I thought I saw something go down, but evidently the windows kind of blocked my view a little bit, but it went wide left and the kick no good. So red zone field position, 3 and out, and come away with nothing, and unfortunately live with it.
I mean, they had the chance there to take a 2-possession lead going up 10-0, and it was just a missed opportunity, a missed field goal, and the defense is back on the field, and they're playing good so far and have to continue what they've been doing.
So with the no-good field goal, that means from the spot of the kick, the Northeast Eagles will take over 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. So they had a good first drive, which ended with a bad interception, and then Sanders went 3 and out, a couple of bad decision plays, of course, that resulted in 1 sack by Joe Davis. So we'll see how the Northeast Eagles respond, trying to get the momentum back that they had in the early part of this game.
Yeah, and it looks like Joe Davis has been all over the field on defense and special teams, and he's definitely a standout player right now so far, and they're leaning on him to continue what he's doing.
All right, 1st and 10 coming up now for the Northeast Philly Eagles. We'll see how they line up here. It looks like Sanders is going to be in a shotgun formation. They're going to go 4 receivers this time, single setback to the right. Sanders is going to wait for the snap here, takes it, and it's going to be a draw up the middle, and basically for about 1.5 yards lost. Couldn't see who that running back was, but the middle was closed very quickly, and it just so happened to be Ian Dempsey, another veteran of the semi-pro stuff. So a 1 yard loss, so he could 2nd and 11.
And Keelan Wall stayed where he had to do at the left defensive end position. He didn't run upfield, and he read a draw and cut inside and made a nice play for a loss of 1.
And he basically became a wall, and that's why a 1 yard loss there. But in any case, 2nd and 11 from the 24-yard line, and
looks like there's a little confusion.
I think we're going to have a timeout by the Northeast Eagles. Yes, timeout for the Eagles will be the first one of this first half. So be 2nd and 11 from the 24 when we return. Quick reminder to everybody that one of their sponsors, of course, and I know JJ mentioned this a little while ago, is Schrudy's Pub and Restaurant, located on 1853 Northampton Street in Easton, Pennsylvania. And what are you going to be doing over there next Monday night?
Well, next Monday we're going to have a couple guys in there, players, coaches, and it's a post-game wrap-up show. We're going to be talking about this game and the following game coming up. But the players, and they're going to talk about how they think this game went and how the opening day game has gone.
And I'm also getting word we're getting people listening from other areas too. Of course, we're getting people from the Frankfurt section of Philadelphia checking in. We got people from Newark checking in.
Florida listener?
Yeah, I think one from Florida, one out in Somerset checking in as well. So a crazy shout out to everybody. We obviously all support. We obviously all appreciate you checking in to Lehigh Valley Storm football here on the Lehigh Valley Storm online radio network and hot101.net, which of course you can check out. Of course, a very, very nice hip hop station which they put online. I mean, basically, it's basically a low-powered Power 99 if you want to make a little comparison to that.
Yep, so. And then producers, I want to give a shout-out also to DJ Lexus and Ms. April, who are listening, and we couldn't be here without them.
Absolutely. So crazy shouts to both you guys, and thank you for everything. So back to action here following the timeout. 2nd and 11 from the 24-yard line. Sanders getting the shotgun. Single setback to the right. 2 receivers this time. Sanders will take the snap, and a delayed handoff. Dempsey again. I guess the same play, and this time a slightly better result. A gain up the middle from maybe a yard back to the line of scrimmage, the original line of scrimmage at the 25. So now Northeast has 3rd and 10 coming up.
And it looked like it was the same play that they ran, just to the other side. And right defensive end, number 94, Luther Wilson, did what Wall just did, made a great play and read the draw.
As we're at the top of the hour, remind everybody you're listening to hot101.net, the main broadcaster online for Lehigh Valley Storm football. Make sure you visit them, not just for Storm Radio, but for lots of other events as well. Again, hot101.net, that is the place for Lehigh Valley Storm football in 2014. So as we come to you from Nat Torpy Field here in Bridgewater, New Jersey, it is 3rd and 10 for the Northeast Eagles at the 25-yard line. This time they spread it out, 2 receivers on each side. Single setback is Dempsey to the right of Sanders, who is looking over a storm blitz, takes a snap, flag is down, going back on the left side. Sanders is brought down, he goes, and it looks like that is it's 36, but there's no 36 listed on the page. Right?
There is a flag on the play.
Yes, there is a 35 rather. That would Grady Pizarro, but we'll see if the play holds. There is a flag down, and it's an illegal formation against the Eagles, so that's going to count as a sack, and they'll refuse the penalty.
And just like from before, the punt returner is going to be lined up on about the 45-yard line, and Lehigh Valley Storm offense is going to have great field position once again.
Unless you have a Randall Cunningham punt.
Correct. Was that 88-yard punt?
Against the Giants, I had to remind you of that.
And just took it, yep.
Probably doing local satellite like Matt Stairs ball, but Anyway, so second sack in the game for the Lehigh Valley Storm. One for Joe Davis, one for Grady Pizarro, and fourth and at least 20 now for the Northeast Eagles, as once again on the punt, Vito Hatchell, and it looks like Stephen Lewis comes back in again.
Watch for the Storm to send the house here and try and get a block into the end zone. Low snap.
Yeah, he does get it off. Sorry about that. It's a very low snap. It takes a short bounce, and that's downed by Sharif Lawhorn in his own territory to 41-yard line, so only a 26-yard punt. I'm sorry to inform you, but I received word, one of our people from Major League Football just informed me that the New York Predators, they won big today, 61-18 in their football game. I forget who they played. I know it was on the Major League Football website, but the Predators off to a tremendous start. Like I said, I forget who they played, but a big win for them today. It was over the Bulldogs route. I didn't see the full message. My apologies there. Yeah, the Tri-State Bulldogs. It's correct. How about that? That's quite a win for the New York Predators. All right, back to the Storm here. They're at the Eagles 40, 1st and 10. And it looks like LeHue is back, standing in the shotgun, 5 yards behind his center. Low snap, and LeHue's keeping it. He will go to the 40, 35, gets slowed down, brought down to 30-yard line by Raheem Sanders. They're going to say to 29, and LeHue gets 11. That's going to be a first down for the Storm after that 11-yard pickup. So a good start there.
And LeHue just read the defensive end there, and defensive end thought Raheem Ridley had the ball and kept the ball for himself and picked up a great gain of 11 yards.
And so it is 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line as Jimmy LeHue, they're going to go Pistolero this time. Single setback Raheem Ridley, and they have 4 receivers, 2 on each side. And now audibleizing, changing from Pistolero and then going in and going back out again. So they're taking some time off the invisible play clock here. 1st and 10 for the 29-yard line. LeHue, a delayed snap and a throw up the middle, and a pass incomplete. That was intended for, looked like Yusuf Reddick, but flags were down. And, I think everyone took off, and then LeHue got the snap, and then Reddick wanted interference, but there were lots of fouls on that play.
Yeah, there was no call on the interference, but it might be a legal formation, or I'm not really sure what the penalty was out the gate.
Well, we'll just say somebody did something wrong. So the officials are going to discuss it, and it looks like the penalty is going to be on the Eagles. 5-yard penalty for offside. I sure didn't expect that, but despite the incompletion, it's going to be 1st and 5 from the 24-yard line, and the Storm are back to work in their usual no-huddle offense. This time, traditional shotgun for Jimmy LeHue. 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Whoops! Wait a minute. I think they're just giving it right back. Looks like a false start's going to be called on the Storm. The umpire from behind the Eagles' defensive line saw somebody flinch. All you need to do is flinch, and it's a penalty.
Yep, and that's a mental mistake there. Gain 5 yards and try and capitalize on a 1st and 5 opportunity, and now you're back towards 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line.
So let's just pretend the last minute and a half didn't happen.
Correct.
So back to 1st and 10 for the 29-yard line, the Eagles. LeHue in the shotgun once again. A low ground ball snap, and he will slip out of a tackle, and he'll get to about the 26-yard line. Boy, he was lucky he was able to get positive yardage on the play, and he was able to rumble for like 3 yards.
And that really has been the story of the first half so far, the center-quarterback exchange. And it's like they're only getting 2 downs to play on offense. They really have to figure something out at halftime.
I'll put it to you this way. They'll be working a lot on that next week, I hate to say, but you got to get it till you get it right. But like I said, this is the first week of the year. This is not late September. 2nd and 6, we'll say, from the 25-yard line. LeHue in the shotgun. 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Ridley the setback. And a play-action pass. Back goes LeHue. He'll throw up the middle on the pass. It's caught! Welcome to the end zone. Another post inside. Jaleel Clark, his 2nd score of the game. Cha-ching for that one. Jaleel Clark 25 yards from Jimmy LaHue, and the Storm double their output against the Eagles.
And that was the momentum on the Storm side right now. That was a great route run by Clark, number 9, and a better pass by LaHue, and put it right on target and beat the Northeast Eagle cornerback right inside and grabbed it down for a touchdown for a 14-0 lead.
Well, not 14-0. Yeah, we got an extra point still.
That's what I'm
Never guarantee an extra point. Don't believe the NFL rules are going to try and change up. Appleman with the extra point coming up. A high snap, the kick on its way, and now you can say it's 14-0 in favor of the Storm.
My heart was racing there. I was praying that Appleman put that through, because if he didn't, that was all on me.
That's okay. Like I said, the jitters are out. So, I would say close to midway here in the second quarter here, but the Lehigh Valley Storm, they're technically the visiting team in this game. They lead 14-0 over the Northeast Eagles. And a quick reminder to everybody that next Saturday, of course, the Lehigh Valley Storm's home opener will be at 7 o'clock at Salisbury High School in Allentown, Pennsylvania, not very far off Emmaus Avenue, and Route 145 or whatever that is. But their home opener is against the New York Predators, who, of course, came off that big win over the Bulldogs today. And I'll tell you what, that's going to be a heck of a home opener for the Storm. It is Military Veterans Night at Salisbury High School, so make sure you come on out and support the Storm. Check their website out for ticket info at lvstormfootball.com. Again, lvstormfootball.com. And if you can't make it to the game, even if you're listening out in Yuma, Arizona, you, of course, can listen to it online at hot101.net and the Lehigh Valley Storm Online Radio Network. So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm saying, the Predators are going to be coming off a big 60-point win and going to be here to play next week and ready to go.
It's called Save Some Points for Next Week. Appleman to kick it off now for the Storm, and he launches one high and end over end. Vito Hatchell will take it in his end zone, run it out this time. He gets to a 10, breaks a tackle, gets to the 20, and goes down at about the 24-yard line. A good tackle that time. Looks like Paul Bolden on special teams was able to bring him.
Yeah, and James Nathaniel for the Eagles threw an absolute tremendous block that the kick returner was trying to get off his butt there, but I have to point out that he threw a great block and pancake number 80 for the Storm, Mike Husar.
And so now the Northeast Eagles have a very important drive coming up as they're going to be spotted at their own 24-yard line. Keep in mind they've already used the timeout in this half, so they only have 2 remaining. Not sure how much time is left on the clock. Remember, they are not operating a clock all the time being kept on the field, so we can only guess. I think the only thing we'll know is if it's for the 2-minute warning. That's all I can tell you. But in any case, Brandon Sanders trying to find some answers. He's going to see if he can look for a couple long balls to his main guy, Anthony Kent, who wears number 22. And I think he might be, I don't know if he's in this game or not. I do know James Williams and Sharif Lawhorn are in as receivers here. And they do have on the left side Jacob Green on the left. So slot far side to the right, 3 receivers total, single set back to the left, and Sanders will hand it off to Somerville, who runs about to 25 down to the 29-yard line. So that big back who had a couple big plays in the first quarter to keep the drive going, now he tries to get more feedback, shall we say. He tries to get more yardage as the Eagles start their drive.
And it seems like the Eagles are trying to go back to their bread and butter here and give it to Somerville, and hoping that he can carry him down the field and get him across midfield and turn a little something on the drive here before halftime.
And it'll be 2nd and 5 for the Eagles. They're on 29-yard line. Sanders, I thought, was in the shotgun the last time, or actually split backs, and they do it again here. 3 wide slots to the right this time. Sanders under center. He'll try and call the play under the same formation. Takes the snap, and they hand it off. Oh, forget that one. Marcus Whitehead took a plunge down for a several-yard loss as Carl Kreidler said, I don't think so, that one.
I think there was about 3 guys in on that tackle, and that there was nowhere to go there, and the Storm definitely plugged the hole up in the middle.
And that resulted in, we'll say, a 4-yard loss to the 25. So that's a big play for Kreidler and the Storm defense, trying to basically go total domination on this game. I mean, they have a 14-0 lead right now on 2 touchdown passes from Jimmy LaHue to Jaleel Clark. So we're just going to say for now it is 3rd and 9 from the 25. Back goes Sanders. He'll have time. A roll to his right. Now he's losing ground. He throws as he's falling down, and he throws it to a member of the Storm coaching staff out of bounds, incomplete. So once again, defensive pressure throws Sanders out of the way, and it's going to be another 3.5 for the Eagles.
And that's Marshman not letting Sanders get outside. You know that's definitely part of their defensive game plan coming into this game. Knowing that Sanders can not only pass, but he can throw. They're keeping him contained, the defensive ends and outside linebackers, and doing a great job.
And I think that was one of the big keys, again, that we had talked about. If you can force Sanders to make a mistake, and remember, he made the big one, throwing an interception to Tajmir Flood back in the first quarter. At this point, that's a turning point in this game, and the Storm haven't looked back. They've had 14 points since then. So now on 4th and 9, punting time, as Vito Hatcher will try this again. Stephen Lewis back. Also back is Justin Thomas. And now it's going to be it's going to be a delayed punt. And it'll be sent all the way to about the midfield stripe as it goes out of bounds in the direction of Justin Thomas. But Thomas doesn't even bother to return as it slipped out of bounds. So the fake punt ended up resulting in a delayed punt. So basically the fake of a fake.
It was more of that like rugby type punt that a lot of these college football teams are adopting. And if the punter thought that he had the room to pick up the first down, he would have. And obviously there were Storm defenders there, so he just kicked it and did the best that he could. And the Storm are going to be inside just inside the 50-yard line here to start this possession.
Well, they're going to do rugby. They're going to basically take off a lot of the uniform parts, that's for sure. Change the goalposts if you have to. That or just make a larger field for all-C rules football. I don't know. Well, they're going to spot it at the 47-yard line of the Eagles, so that was only about a 22-yard punt. 1st and 10 for the Storm at the 47. Low snap, delayed handoff, and that was Sean Mayers, who had nowhere to go. And it was once again the bad snap exchange. Dante Bryant and Damon Brockington able to bring him down.
And it's really causing problems and messing up the timing from Jimmy LeHue to Sean Mayers on that draw.
This will be a good time to work on it, though, that's for sure. 2nd and 13 from midfield. Back goes LeHue. He'll throw a screen right. That pass is caught around midfield and brought down to about the 45-yard line. Good catch by Yusuf Reddick, brought down by Marvin Lill. Reddick, I beg your pardon.
A good little play there, running the draw first. That didn't work, and then faking the draw, and then running the screen to pick up about 5, 6, 7 yards.
So about 5-yard gains. It'll be 3rd and 7 from the 44-yard line. LeHue slowing things down, goes under center. They're going, looks like 4 receivers, 3 to the left, a slot and a wing this time. Now backing up into the shotgun with Mayer's single setback to the left. LeHue waiting. And a low ground ball. He gets it and he throws it. Not even close. Incomplete. Hageman Moore, the intended receiver. But once again, the snap just did not work. And the Storm will have to go 3 and out.
Looking at the body language of Jimmy LeHue after that snap, you could tell it didn't really bother him the first couple, but now that it's up to 4, 5, 6 low snaps, he's definitely getting a little bit frustrated.
Most certainly, but it's quite amazing how things have been going for the Storm. That has been who knows, probably at halftime they'll be working on the exchange.
But they are lucky that they haven't had a turnover off of it yet and that they've recovered all the low snaps and fumbles.
And there's only been one turnover in this game so far, and that's been, of course, the interception by Tajmir Flood, which set up the first score for the Storm. Now, and we were going to have a punt by Eppelman. However, I think we have an official timeout, or we have the 2-minute warning. I'm not 100% sure. Officials are wondering what's going on, but I'm guessing it's a penalty because the umpire has picked up the ball. And it looks like an illegal substitution has been called against the Eagles, so a 5-yard penalty. And instead of 4th and 7, it's become 4th and 2. I mean, that was late. I didn't even see a flag go down, but it's easy not to see when you got bright light shining.
Timeout Lehigh Valley Storm here, and the Eagles have to watch out maybe for fake punt range.
Figures I didn't see that one either. So why don't you go ahead and catch one of the sponsors here. If you can find one.
I can find one right here. It's A&H Sporting Goods, family-run business with 2 locations. One in Emmaus. How do you pronounce that?
Emmaus, I think it is.
Emmaus, 3103 West Emmaus Ave in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And then 1600 Sullivan Trail in Easton, Pennsylvania. You could stop by there to pick up all your sporting goods needs.
Well, it's certainly good because, I mean, get some people to go ahead and get themselves ready for the fall. I mean, especially with fall sports coming, especially soccer, that'd be a very good thing. Your thoughts so far as we run close to halftime and the Storm with a 14-0 lead on the Eagles?
Well, the big story obviously is the low snaps, but Lehigh Valley Storm are winning the field possession game. And that's always a good thing that you need. When you win the field possession game, you're always in better position to score. And the offense, I don't think they've started on the other side of the 50 yet this entire game. So the defense and special teams really have been helping out the Storm offense tonight.
And that's a very big thing. And you have to keep in mind, of course, the Storm usually are ridden by their defense, and they're going for it here on 4th and 2 from the 39-yard line. So like you, in the shotgun, 4 receivers, single setback is Sean Myers. Let's see what happens here. Like you, with a snap looking, he throws on the middle, and that pass is caught. Look at that, up the middle, and it's going to be welcome to the end zone. Yusuf Reddick, I'm sorry. I mean, that was a quick snap and throw. I thought the left side of the field jumped before the play happened, but no flag came down, and the Storm ended up getting a 39-yard touchdown pass, the 3rd touchdown of the game for Jimmy LeHue.
It's almost like the Eagles were expecting the play not to happen. Their right defensive tackle looked like he was flinching and jumping, and they were caught off guard, and Jimmy LeHue find the wide-open wide receiver for 4th and 2 for a touchdown.
I mean, that was right down the middle. I mean, it was basically a one-step back, quick zing, and Yusuf Reddick ended up taking it. Here's a high snap on the extra point, kick on its way, and that's on its way to Somerville. Kick is good, and I'll tell you what, the Lehigh Valley Storm, if you want to talk about domination in this game, they have asserted that as they now have a 21-0 lead over the Northeast Eagles, and the Eagles are wondering what just happened here.
And head coach Bob Kohler has to be happy. I know he was thinking about this game for a while now, and winning field position and winning offense and making big plays, and 4th and 2, a play like that completely changes the game and turns it into a 3-possession lead late in the second quarter.
And most certainly that is very important that the Storm get out to that real big lead. So needless to say, that despite the offensive exchange errors have been too many in this first half, at least the bright spot in the cash register is a 3-touchdown lead for the Storm. And just so you know, a couple of our check-ins, we had somebody from Hillsborough check in, one from Burlington, New Jersey check in, and we have a couple people from Kutztown University checking into Hot101.net, listening to online football with the Lehigh Valley Storm here for Major League Football. We're glad you can join us here. Coming to you from Bridgewater, New Jersey, and Knapp Torpy Field. It is a very nice night. It was 72 degrees at game time, mostly cloudy, no showers expected, thank heavens, and pretty much very good field, good playing conditions. If there's any wind at maximum, maybe it's 10 miles an hour, but that is about it. I mean, you can't ask for a better season opener than this.
No, the weather right now is perfect weather. Saturday night football under the lights. You couldn't ask for much better weather than there is right now.
Saturday night lights in July. Anyway, the Storm kicking off as Appleman will try and ascend it, and once again, Vito Hatchell will try and return it. The kickoff is high, and over and it'll be Hatchell who will grab it halfway through. He's going to run it out again. He'll take it along the left side to the 10, and maybe he should have taken a knee. He went out of bounds to the 15-yard line. So the Lehigh Valley Storm do their job, and instead of the Eagles starting their 20, they're starting at the 15-yard line. So not necessarily a good decision on field position.
And that's the second or third time that's happened tonight, and the Storm are doing a great job on kickoff right now by staying in their lanes and just not letting anyone get by.
And so the Northeast Eagles, they'll have a long way to travel before this first half comes to an end. Now, they'll get the ball to start the second half. Just keep that in mind. Now, and was there a flag down there we may have missed? Because I know they had the ball spotted the 5th. I'm sorry.
Made a warning?
No, I'm sorry. The guy went out of bounds. Hatchell went out of bounds about the 17-yard line. And then I think they just tacked on another 5 yards for the Storm having 12 men in their huddle. So that might be the case here. So that's why the ball is spotted at about the 22-yard line. So first and 10 coming up for the Northeast Eagles are down 21-0 thanks to 3 touchdown passes by Jimmy LeHue, 2 of them to Jaleel Clark of 13 and 25 yards respectively, and Yusuf Reddick had the third one on a 4th and 2 from 39 yards out. Basically the quick Aikman to Alvin Harper 94 NFC Championship game. Meanwhile, Sanders had a wide open man and dropping the ball along the far side, Sharif Lawhorn. I mean, that was a perfect pass. He was wide open, and he basically dropped all the Tupperware, and incomplete it is, unfortunately. Just a tough break there.
Yeah, definitely. If you caught that, there was definitely room to run.
And keep in mind, too, the Northeast Eagles, they got their first downs on the very first drive, of course, with Somerville making the conversions. And here, now they're being forced into the air, and Sanders is going to have to do something. On 2nd and 10, on a 1 snap, pass is caught, C.J. Fisher. Fisher will cross the 25 down to the 28-yard line. Actually, I beg your pardon, that was James Williams, the wide receiver, who made the catch. I thought it was a 3. It was actually a 7. But nonetheless, it was a gain of, we'll say, 7. Just matching his number. But now they're going no huddle. 3rd and 3 from the 29-yard line. Sanders in the shotgun, single setback, 3 wide slot to the right. Sanders with a snap, play fake, looking, throws up the middle, pass off and intercepted! It is intercepted by Jared Elder. Elder running it back to the 40, to the 30, on the far sideline and gets pummeled out of bounds about the 23-yard line. Sanders had too much mustard on his throw. It was intended again for James Williams, and it went right off his fingertips and into the hands of Jared Elder, who just brought it back all the way to the 22-yard line. So another turnover by the Northeast Eagles, and the Lehigh Valley Storm basically showing their domination right now.
Yeah, the defense are making big plays right there. Elder got the ball off the tip, went to the sideline just like he's taught, and the Storm have another chance to score from the 20-yard line, about the 22-yard line right about now.
And somebody's sending me text messages saying, let's go Storm, and he's not even from Allentown, so go figure that one out. Anyway, and that's why I'm glad we got the Wi-Fi going, because you never know who might be checking in these games here. 1st and 10 now for the Storm at the Eagles' 22-yard line. Not sure how much time is left. I'm sure it's very late.
It's got to be close to halftime.
Yeah, very close for sure. LeHue in the shotgun. Single setback, takes the snap. They will hand it off to Ridley. He will take it past the 20 and get thrown down at about the 18-yard line. Brought down on a nice tackle by Damon Brockington, but not before a pickup of about, we'll say, 4 on the play.
Yeah, a nice little draw there to Raheem Ridley and get this offense going. They like to run the run and gun, and here's a 2nd and 5 attempt.
And no huddle again. 2nd and, we'll say 5 or maybe 6 from the 18-yard line. LeHue in the shotgun, next to him Ridley. 4 receivers to each side. LeHue takes it, he'll play fake, and now it's a handoff. Ridley, he'll cross the 15 and get to about the 10 to the 9-yard line. So LeHue ended up faking me out, faking you out, and gonna have to deal with the dinner bill tonight for faking us out. But still, now they're saying it's a 2-minute warning. Okay, so we never had a 2-minute warning until now. So we'll send this warning to everybody that this Lehigh Valley Storm online broadcast, courtesy of the Lehigh Valley Storm online radio network and hot101.net, brought to you by Shrudy's Pub and Restaurant, by A&H Sporting Goods, by State Farm, by KVLA Children's Center, and by Orthopedic Associates. And by the way, the Lehigh Valley Storm, very important to the Allentown community as well. We're honored to be associated to some of these community programs. I'll go ahead and read you one of them right now. We're very happy to be with Camelot for Children. They're a nonprofit organization that provides a social gathering place to seriously, chronically, terminally ill and disabled children, and all activities are free of charge and are open to the whole family. Additionally, we're proudly sponsored, teaming up with the Judith Adele Agentis Charitable Foundation. They're a charitable foundation established to provide meals to hospice centers and to provide testing, early detection, awareness, and education about pancreatic and liver and colon cancers. If you want more information on those two groups, as well as others that we're affiliated with, go to lvstormfootball.com and look for the community programs that we're associated with. All right, as we come back from the 2-minute timeout, 1st and 10, actually 1st and goal rather, from the 9-yard line. It's LeHue will hand it off to Ridley. Flags are down as he goes to about the 8-yard line, but let's see what the flag's all about. That came rather quickly upon the snap.
Yeah, there was definitely a mishap there somewhere along the offense, and they're going to lose a couple yards here. But
Well, we'll see how they decide on it. I didn't hear any whistles, so the play kept going. It is possible that the Eagles might have been offside, but then again, it could be another illegal formation situation.
yeah, it could be. It looked like there was some.
Yeah, it's going to be on the Storm the way this looks right now.
It just looked like something wasn't right there. It wasn't, the flow of the play wasn't too well, but they'll put that behind them and look to convert right now.
Yeah, so illegal motion, we'll say. First and goal from the 14-yard line now for the Storm. In the shotgun like you. Again, 4 receivers. Raheem Ridley, the single setback. The snap, they hand it to Ridley. He'll run around the left, try and get through a hole, and he goes down at about the 10-yard line. Good tackle that time by Dante Bryant as Ridley gets most of the penalty yardage back.
And I like what they're trying to do right now. Raheem Ridley is not only a power back, but a speed back, and the offensive line is doing a great job, and he's just trying to find that hole and burst through.
And the Storm just used their second time out of the half. They have 1 remaining. Just to give you another idea, Rolling Thunder also is proud to be affiliated with the Lehigh Valley Storm. They're a Class 501c4 nonprofit organization with over 90 chartered chapters throughout the United States and members abroad. While many members of Rolling Thunder are veterans and many ride motorcycles, neither qualification is a prerequisite. We're also affiliated with the American Gold Star Mothers Incorporated. They're an organization of mothers who have lost a son or daughter in the service of our country. Now, if you're a member of the public, we participate in many memorial events around the country, and of course, you're welcome to join us. And the other one we forgot to mention is the Pediatric Cancer Foundation of the Lehigh Valley. They're a local nonprofit which supports children with cancer and their families, enabling them to live their lives to the fullest. We focus on quality of life and long-term survivorship programs, educational and therapeutic-based workshops, resources, and support services, including a support group run by a professional facilitator from Stepping Forward. Again, go to lvstormfootball.com for the links to all those organizations that we are glad to be affiliated with within the Allentown and Lehigh Valley communities. All right, here we go back to action. Second and goal from the 10-yard line as Jimmy LeHue stands in the shotgun. 4 receivers again. Single setback is Ridley. Here's the snap. He's play actioning. He throws again. The pass is caught in the back, and it's going to be welcomed to the end zone. Devon Gordon this time on a slant. He may have had double coverage on him, but on second and goal, Jimmy LeHue, 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdowns in the first half of play. Could he be the next Peyton Manning?
I think he could be. The Storm are really using these inside slant moves, and the Eagles cornerbacks are having trouble with it. And Jimmy LeHue was putting it right on target, and they're just capitalizing when they can.
Well, they're certainly capitalizing, that is for sure. Bobby Eppelman to try the extra point, taking the snap and the kick on its way, and that makes no, it's no good. It is no good. Just wide to the right, so the extra point no good. That makes it 27-0 in favor of the Storm in the latter stages of the first half. I forgot to mention that somebody actually connected our podcast to Mobile Apps Incorporated, and they're creating mobile applications for small to medium-sized businesses, and they wanted you to check it out for, I don't even know what it says. I think it's mobileusapps.com, but whatever the case is, somebody connected our show through that site, which I just found out in the last hour. Just figure I get crazy shots of those people that's making this broadcast very nicely run, and again a little bit more support than we expected here today.
Yeah, absolutely, and I know that you can get the link from lvstormfootball.com, and Hot 101 is through an app that you can download, Live 365. Search Hot 101.
And indeed, go to live365.com for more information on that and how you can get to hot101.net. One other thing on the cancer stuff we'll mention after the Eppelman kickoff, but as the way things are looking right now, the Storm with a 27-0 lead, they're doing the best they can as trying to keep the shutout going as we approach halftime. So here we go with the kickoff. Eppelman sends it high, and it looks like it's going to be Hatchell again, but he decides, you know what? Never mind. I'm going to trot, and I'm going to run this out. Boy, he's going to fake everybody. He can't go back in the end zone. He'll take to about the 10-yard line and takes a shot as he goes out of bounds by Rodney Gilmore. So Going to be a 1st and 10 coming up for the Northeast Eagles at their own 10. So they got a long way to go. They're going to score to end this first half.
The players look real confused there. It was almost like Devin Hester against the Bears like 8 years ago. Stutter step, and guys were stopping, and then he just took off, and it backfired on him.
All right. So, yeah, we're just checking the batteries to make sure everything was good to roll here. But in any case, I think we have a little bit of an official break here for a moment as we're in the final moments of the first half. Right now, the score 27-0 in favor of the Lehigh Valley Storm. It was 7-0 at quarter time, but the Storm, I think, have scored on 4 of their last 5 possessions. I'm not sure if they scored on 4 in a row. I thought they had a 3 and out somewhere. I don't quite remember. We'll talk to analyst Rick Schmidt at halftime to see what his thing is for the first half of play.
Yeah, I think they had that 1 3 and out in between. There was a couple. It was a low snap, a couple mishaps, but for the most part, scoring these 4 touchdowns out of maybe 5 or 6 opportunities. The offense is looking real good, but the defense is looking absolutely tremendous in this first half.
Now we got also somebody checking in from Arkansas listening at the hot101.net, so crazy shouts to whoever that is. I don't want to give names out on our first try here, but here we go on 1st and 10 from the 10. Here's a handoff. Somerville, he'll run to the left, cross the 15, and takes a hard hit and goes out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. Stops the clock. But once again, Somerville, I mean, he's a train. He can run you over if you're not careful. But he's able to get the first down for the Northeast Eagles in quite some time.
Yep, and being a big back like that, you knew there was going to be a real big collision up on the sideline with linebacker Joe Davis. But they're going back to their bread and butter there and giving Somerville the ball.
And so it'll be first and, we'll say, it looks like a 1st and 10. They're going to give him 13 yards on the play. I thought he stepped out of bounds right at the 20, but I guess his feet kept moving. That's where the ball is when the play is dead. So the Eagles can catch their breath a little bit, and after the first down a while, maybe that'll be the beginning of them having a successful drive before the first half ends. 27-0 in favor of the Lehigh Valley Storm right now as we're getting, I would say, about a minute away till halftime. You have to keep that in mind. The Storm have 1 timeout left. The Eagles have 2. But in any case, 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. Sanders again lining up. Somerville to his right. 2 receivers to the right-hand side, and Sanders will take the snap in the shotgun. He's going to throw a deep one along the right side. A pass. It's beautifully caught. Oh, my goodness, what a catch in Storm territory by Vito Hatchell. Came shot out like a rocket, and he gets shoved down by Terrell Ellis at about the 35-yard line. That's a 42-yard pickup, folks. Biggest play of the day for the Eagles.
And they're going to try and capitalize on that momentum there, but it looked like there was a little miscommunication error between the safety and the cornerback, and they let the split end just fly right by, and luckily it wasn't for a touchdown, but a huge gain for the Northeast Eagles.
And and let's also not forget, the Eagles will have the ball to start the second half. Now, I think we have an equipment issue, so we have a slight pause in the action for the moment. And right now, the Northeast Eagles, if they can score here before the half is over, remember, they get the ball to start the second half. They score again, they're halfway back in this game. So even though the Storm are up 27-0, they can't let off the pedal.
Exactly. You can't just say we won the first half and then leave everything you have in the locker room. There's 2 halves to play here, and if they score a touchdown, especially after a Bobby Eppelman missed extra point, only down 27, a touchdown down 20 is 3 possessions, getting the ball. They're definitely looking to score here for sure.
By the way, that was a 39-yard pass from Brandon Sanders to Vito Hatchell. They're spotting the ball at the 38-yard line. And I think timeout was called by the Northeast Eagles. So both teams have 1 timeout remaining as we're going to be set to get back into play momentarily. I wouldn't be surprised if we're about the 30-second mark left till halftime. So the Eagles have to be very selective in the way they make their calls to see if they can hatch the goose egg from their side of the scoreboard. So 1st and 10 from the Storm 38-yard line. Sanders again to shotgun. Somerville to his left. Takes the snap. He's running. A Storm blitz. In trouble. Sanders can't get out of it. Down he goes for about a 10-yard loss. Mike Kusar, I think his name, ends up getting the 3rd Storm sack of the game, and that is a big loss, and Sanders a slight bit shaken up at the end of the play, and that's going to, I'm not sure the Eagles are going to use their last time out here or not, but Sanders did not really look like he was coming up 100%. He may have just banged his form up a little bit.
Yeah, and that's not what the Eagles want, especially real late in the first half. But going back to the Kusar, coming off the edge, he showed that he was going to drop, and once the ball was snapped, he took off and kept his outside shoulder in and didn't let Sanders make a move outside, and wrapped up the quarterback and brought him down for a big sack.
And indeed, the Eagles used their last time out of the first half after that 10-yard loss. So it will be a 2nd and 20 once things resume into play. Now, don't forget, like I said, and we understand we got the next opponent, incidentally, for the Northeast Philly Eagles will be the New Jersey Spartans up in Newark, and that's next week. So, and I understand a couple of Spartan people are listening to this game, so crazy chats to you guys, and appreciate supporting Major League Football and, of course, Hot101.net. In addition to which, we, of course, have some people out in Staten Island checking in from the New York Predators, who, of course, will be the opponent next week at Salisbury High School for the Lehigh Valley Storm home opener. But we'll get to that promo in a little bit. As we get back into action, Eagles now with no timeouts left. It'll be, you know what? My bad. The Storm were offside on that play. So forget all that happened. It must have been illegal contact or something. So 1st and 10 now from the 33 as Sanders takes a snap, and he will be dropped down for a tackle at the 35-yard line. I'll tell you what happened. What I missed was there looked to be a sack, but there was no sack as illegal contact or defensive holding took place on the Storm, which gave the Eagles a new set of downs, and that's why we had that play. I completely missed it. And, like I said, jitters, either that or I need laser vision surgery. 2nd and 12 from the 35. Back goes Sanders. He's up. He's in trouble. And down he goes. The football is recovered by Kusar. Who's going to run it back? The 30, the 20. Open the gates. Welcome to the end zone. Mike Kusar. Boy, did he cruise. And he was able to get a touchdown off a fumble. Brandon Sanders took the ball. Nobody even bothered going after him, and he took off to the house. Meanwhile, near the 45-yard line, there is an injured Eagle on the play. I'm not sure who it is, but it's not looking real good right now as the Storm have made it 33 first-half points, including 26 here in this second quarter.
The defense is definitely shining, and Luther Wilson made a great inside move to get to the quarterback and force a fumble for a huge defensive play by the Storm.
Is it possible that could be Brandon Sanders down on that play? I'm not 100% sure, but yes, it was. He was the one down. I'm not sure if he was injured or just had the wind knocked out of him or something didn't come out right. He is up and okay, thankfully, but Brandon Sanders, a very, very difficult first half as he's thrown 2 interceptions, and he just caught the ball up, which resulted in Mike Kusar's fumble return for a touchdown. I think it's about 50 yards. Rick will probably have the official statistics of that when we have our halftime ceremonies here. So, of course, we have the main guy for the Storm, Steve Lombardo, has joined us here for the thing, and he just waved at me. I'm trying to crazy shout everybody here.
What's going on, Tom?
Well, what's going on is a 33-0 lead for the Storm. I'm sure that makes you happy.
Oh, this is great. Yeah, we had a little shaky start in the beginning, but once you get the rust out.
Let's put it this way. Didn't take long. Eppleman will try the extra point. I mean, they're still going to be practicing probably at halftime the exchange, but who knows? Oh, like the last second, 4 Eagles come on, and I think it's like they didn't realize what had happened. Here's the snap, and the extra point on its way. This time it is good, and we'll say Eppleman's 4 out of 5 as the first half has drawn to a close here at Torpy Field here in Bridgewater. So a dominant second quarter has turned into a dominant first half overall for the Lehigh Valley Storm as we go into snack break. The score, the Lehigh Valley Storm 34, the Northeast Philly Eagles nothing. Now the question is, what are we going to do from here?
For halftime?
Yeah, I'm like, Mike, we
music.
put on a little music. Hey, why not? Just before you do, we'll just say we'll come back in a little bit for the second half, but we'll recap the first half for you, and of course, give you some highlights. And there were plenty of them, especially in the second quarter. So the halftime scores: we got a snack break. The Lehigh Valley Storm 34, the Northeast Philly Eagles nothing. JJ and Crazy, we'll be back in a little bit. In fact, just take a few minutes. You enjoy your halftime and enjoy some music courtesy of the Lehigh Valley Storm online radio network and, of course, Hot101.net.